Hey, what's up? It's me, JDS4696, and today I'm going to be giving a film review for Creed. And this is like sort of like it actually is like a spinoff of the Rocky film series, which starred like Sylvester Stallone in the role of Rocky Balboa. But this time, it introduces Apollo Creed's son into the film, and his name is Adonis Johnson. And he's played by Michael B. Jordan, because like the fate of Apollo Creed, like in the Rocky film series, he had got killed in like a boxing match, and I think that was on Rocky 4, he was killed by I think Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren. But it turns out like years later that he actually had like another son, who grows up to be Adonis Johnson, who's played by Michael B. Jordan, because in the film Adonis Johnson, he doesn't even know that his father was Apollo Creed. He didn't even know that his father was a boxer. Because when it opens, it gives like an origin tale about what he went through in his past childhood. And I think it was like in the late 90s, I think. You could see him like in a juvenile like detention place, for like fighting, because he was getting into fights and stuff like that. So they actually had him locked up like in prison or whatever, And they also have like his supposed like mother. She's also in it too as well, and she's played by what's her name from the Cosby Show? Yeah, Felicia Rashad. She actually plays like his She plays like the she was the wife of Apollo Creed, so she is playing the widow, and she is supposed she actually adopts like Adonis as her son, after the death of his real mother, because it turns out that Apollo Creed actually had an affair with another woman while he was with Marianne Creed. He was actually having an affair with another woman and got this woman impregnated, but the son, who was Adonis, he wasn't born after Apollo Creed's death, so that's why Apollo Creed didn't even know that he had a son, and at the same time his son didn't even know Apollo Creed. So it turns out Adonis, he learns that his father was actually like a fighter, a heavyweight world champion too, and like famous and stuff like that, He turns out that if he finds that out, so he decides to follow in his father's like footsteps and becomes a fighter himself, as well. So he seeks out like the help of Rocky Balboa, who was once a friend and once like an opponent of Apollo Creed, to help him train to become like a good fighter, and pursue his dreams of becoming like the ultimate fighter. So that's basically what the film is about. You have like Apollo Creed's son, who is known as Adonis Creed, and he wants to follow in his father's footsteps, and he seeks help from Rocky Balboa to train to become a good fighter, Now I thought this film was it was good. I enjoyed it. At times it was still like, you could tell it was still just like something about it that was kind of like off, it's like it wasn't enough, like inspiration, from my opinion, for him to want to actually become like a fighter like that. Why would he want to go to those lengths, I didn't really feel like I had like enough draw in there to do that, but it was still good. I thought like the performances were like good in the film. Michael B. Jordan as Adonis Johnson, I thought he was good in his role, Plus I thought Sylvester Stallone did good again as Rocky Balboa, So it had like some good performances in it, And throughout the film, it has like this nice like atmosphere, like feel to it too. You actually feel like you're there with them, like training and stuff like that, which I thought was cool. And some like the boxing scenes, like some of his like first fight, like the first fight that Adonis Creed actually has, not like the first fight at the beginning, but like one of his like first two matches, after like I think Rocky has trained him, I thought that was kind of cool. It was like the way like it was choreographed. I thought he did a good job with that. Like the director actually, I think his name is Ryan Coogler. I thought he did a good job, like direction of it, And plus, like the final like fight sequence, I thought was cool too, and everything. And plus, there was also like a kind of not really a surprise like events in the film, I kind of expected, because you could see kind of some of it in the trailer, That was kind of kind of sad to a certain extent, but it wasn't really nothing too tragic. I'm not gonna like spoil the film, for people who haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I thought this was good. It also had like some good like songs that were played throughout the film too as well. Like the soundtrack, it was pretty good. But yeah, like that was on the flaws that I saw in the film as well. It just wasn't like from my opinion, it just seemed like at times it wasn't enough motivation for why would he want to do something like this? Like try to follow like in his father's footsteps, and become like a great fighter. It seemed like it still wasn't enough motivation or inspiration there. But he did have like a background as a fighter, because he was getting in fights with other like kids and stuff while he was in like the jail, the juvenile, I think it was, like center at the beginning. So you kind of get a glimpse of that too as well, But I like how, like, if you're a fan of like the Rocky film series, you know, it touches on like the other like films in the series too as well. You know, kind of like you could tell that it still connects to them. Like you see like scenes with Rocky visiting Adrian and Paulie's like graves. You know, I thought that was kind of cool that it kept them there. You could see that they had passed on. You know, well, we already knew that Adrian had passed and Paulie too. You know, but him visiting their graves. You know, plus like Mickey. You know, like his like boxing gym. You know, all that stuff is still there. Plus the scenes that running, it's even borrowing like the music, like it's borrowing the music from like when Rocky was running. You know, like he's running and stuff. You know, it's still like borrowing like scenes from that too as well. You know, like the music or whatever. So I thought this was cool, and I thought like the love interest in the film, who was known as Bianca, she was kind of cool too as well, and she was like the love interest of Adonis Johnson, you know, played by Michael B. Jordan. Her name was Bianca, and I thought she did a good job too, because she was like kind of like an aspiring like singer or performer basically, and I thought she was like kind of good in her role too as well, you know. I know she was played by let me see, Bianca. I know she was played by forgot her name. Yeah, Tessa Thompson plays her, and she's like a singer-songwriter who becomes like the love interest of Adonis. You know, see, I thought this film was good. I would give Creed. I give this a B, because I mean I give it like a B minus, like a B minus, because it was good, but at the same time it's still kind of like it was still like elements into it, you know, that didn't really take off. You know, it wasn't like enough. You know. Seemed like, you know, but I heard they supposed to make this into a trilogy, so that's kind of interesting. It sounds cool to me, you know. But if you're like a fan of like the Rocky film series as well, you know, and it holds its own as a Creed film, but it is like basically you could say Rocky 7, basically, you know. But it does hold its own. But if you're a fan of those films, I think you should definitely give this a try. And I'm giving Creed a B minus. This is JDS 4696. All right.